Father Greg here at St. Andrews, here with your Bible story this week. So Jesus is telling a parable to his followers of a wealthy business owner who has 3 employees or servants, and he gives one servant 5, it says, talents, and he gives another 2, and he gives another 1, and he tells them to go invest them for him while he's gone. Now, in English, we think of our word as talent as being those gifts or skills or abilities or things that we're kind of good at. In this story, a talent is actually a really big amount of money. In fact, it's worth one talent is worth 15 years worth of wages. So what he entrusted to his servants was a really, really big thing. And so he gives to his servants 5, 2, and 1, and it says that when he comes back and says, so what did you do? The person with 5 says, well, I invested them and I got 5 more, so here's 10 for you. And the person with 2 said, well, I invested mine and I got 2 more, and so here's 4 for you. And the person who had 1, it says that he was afraid. He was afraid of the business owner. And because of his fear, he buried that 1 talent in the ground. And he says, I didn't want to lose that one thing you gave me, so here it is back. And Jesus says that the businessman in this case was really upset with that person. Like, why did you just bury it in the ground? You could have at least given it to the bank and they would have made interest on it for me. And so he commends the 2, the one with the 5 and the one with the 2, for being wise and for investing what they had and for seeing that increase. So what does that have to do with us? Well, I think that one way to think about the story is to think about talents, like I mentioned before, our gifts, skills, abilities, things that we feel that we've been given that are unique. So maybe you're a good musician. Maybe you play the piano, or you play the drums, or you play the flute, or you play something else, or you sing. Maybe you have a talent for cooking. Maybe you have a talent for building things. Maybe you have a talent. You could go on, an athletic ability. That's a talent, right? And so the real question for us as Christians is, how are we going to use those things that God has given us? Those talents, those skills, those gifts and abilities, how are we going to use those for God? Not just to make ourselves better, but to offer those gifts to God and say, God, what can I do that's going to help other people? And so, for example, if you love to cook or bake or something like that, sure, you could bake cookies for yourself. Or you could bake cookies for a neighbor who can't get out of the house, or for someone that you just want to say, here, we're thinking about you, we care about you. You could bake and give something to them. And that's a way of taking your talent for baking and sharing it with other people. If you have a talent for music, it's maybe not just for you or for your family, but you could bless other people with playing piano over a Zoom call or a FaceTime call with somebody else and making their heart glad because you're sharing music with them. There's lots of ways for us to share our talents and our gifts, but the most important thing is to use them. That when we use our talents and gifts, they actually grow, they get bigger, they get stronger. And our potential then to bless other people with those talents and gifts becomes greater and stronger. So I hope that you'll think about whatever talent and gift you feel like you have that God's given you. It could be, you could say, I've only really am good at this thing. Or you could say, I'm good at lots of things. This parable doesn't say that the person with 5 was better than the person with 1. It all has to do with what we do with it in order to bless other people. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time.
theme for this Sunday is growing God's gifts. When we are all born, we're born with gifts from God. Things like courage and kindness and being cheerful instead of complaining. Things like that are gifts from God, not packages wrapped with a bow. But all our lives we have to work on making those gifts grow in ourselves. We need to become aware when someone around us needs a pair of gloves, for example. We're having a mitten tree at church, and you can give mittens and gloves, and they will be given to people who need them. And having this kind of an awareness, that's a gift from God.
Hi everyone. Today I have a song for you that's called I Can Do All Things. And it's about your talents and the strength that we get from Christ to help us do things and be successful. And He's there with us. So it sounds like this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. Did you notice that I sang Christ who strengthens me 4 times? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. Will you join me and sing that with me now, that whole beginning part? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. We sing that at the beginning, that whole section, and then we do it again at the end. But in the middle, there's a part where we talk about different talents. And I picked 6 that I know kids can do. And after I say a talent, will you clap with me 3 times? I can sing. I can dance. I can run. I can draw. I can read. I can write. I can do most anything. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. Now let's try the whole song together. Here we go. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can sing. I can dance. I can run. I can draw. I can read. I can write. I can do most anything. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. Great. Thank you for doing that with me. and using your talents. Bye-bye.
Did you guys notice in Miss Stansberry's song this week that one of our Bible verses from a couple weeks ago was right in that song?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Right, and if you don't remember it from a couple weeks ago, maybe you can practice singing her song and then you'll remember that one. This week's Bible memorization verse is actually from 1 Peter chapter 4. It's verse 10, and it's, as each has received a gift, use it to serve one another. This Bible verse is important to keep in our hearts because we've all received gifts and talents from God, and we should remember that we need to use those to serve others, those around us. So think about what kinds of talents and strengths and gifts you've been given from God and how you can grow those. So let's practice this verse together. We'll do the first part together, the second part together, and then all of it at once. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, repeat after me. As each has received a gift,
As each has received a gift,
use it to serve one another.
use it to serve one another.
Great. Okay, let's do it all together. You guys too. As
each has received a gift,
use it to serve one another. Great. So think about it, and then maybe you can talk with your family sometime this week about how you guys have been blessed by God, what kinds of gifts and talents He's blessed you with, and maybe you can come up with some ideas of how to use those to serve one another. Take care and have a great week.